Welcome to the Learn and Talk English podcast.
Hello, everyone.
Imagine trying to build a massive, beautiful house, but, instead of using mortar or cement to stick things together, you are just stacking loose bricks on top of each other.
Right, just loose bricks, no cement at all.
Exactly. The very first time a strong wind blows, that entire house is going to come crashing down.
Oh, absolutely.
And that right there is exactly what happens in your brain when you try to memorize a list of 100 random vocabulary words.
Yeah, it really is. It just falls apart.
And if you are listening to us right now, you know exactly what that frustration feels like. You are trying to improve your English, you want to reach that fluent level, and sometimes it just feels like you are stacking loose bricks.
It's a terrible feeling, honestly.
It is. Well, our mission today is incredibly exciting. We are going to give you a complete, comprehensive guide on how to speak fluent English in the year 2026.
A complete guide, yes. We're going to go through everything.
Because in this channel, Learn and Talk English, we are providing high-quality educational material to take you from wherever you are right now, all the way to absolute mastery.
It is so great to be here today. And hello to you, our listener.
We are so happy you are here with us.
We really are thrilled you are joining us. We know that mastering a language, especially reaching that advanced level where you can joke and connect deeply, well, it can feel like an impossible mountain to climb.
It seems so high up, right?
Exactly. But the truth is, the science of learning a language has never been clearer. We are going to break down the exact daily routines you need.
Think of us as your personal teachers.
Yes, your linguistic strategists. And since this is so important, we are going to speak slowly today.
Very slowly.
We want to make sure you understand every single word. We will repeat things. We will explain everything simply.
Because you are learning, and we want to support you.
Right. So we are going to explore everything from how your brain actually remembers new words, to how to read, to stopping that habit of translating in your head.
And finally, building a routine that makes failure basically impossible.
I am so ready for this. It is going to be great.
Yeah, me too. It's funny because so many of us spend years learning English, but we never actually learn how to learn English.
Right, we just stare at textbooks.
We just stare at the pages.
Mm-hmm.
So let's unpack this first major hurdle. Learning new words.
The foundation.
Yeah, the core foundation. But it's often the most painful part for learners. People always tell us, I study a list of 50 words on Monday, and by Wednesday, my brain has completely deleted them.
Completely gone.
Right. Why does this happen? What is going on in our heads that makes just memorizing lists so ineffective?
What comes down to how the human brain evolved. Your brain is essentially a highly efficient filtering machine.
A filtering machine, okay.
Yes. Every second, it receives millions of pieces of data, and its main job is to figure out what is necessary to survive and what is just noise.
Ah, so it throws away the noise.
Exactly. If you are staring at a completely random list of words in a dictionary, your brain looks at that list and says, there is no context here. This has no emotion.
I don't need this.
Right. It has no reason to keep it. So it actively throws those words away to save energy.
Wow. So it's not that we are bad at memory, it's that our brains are doing their job.
Exactly. You are not bad at learning, you are just using the wrong method. The big secret to fluency, the real change for 2026, is semantic networking.
Semantic networking. That sounds complicated.
It just means learning in context.
Ah, okay. Learning in context. So instead of trying to force lonely words into our memory, we need to show the brain how these words connect to things we already know.
You must build from the knowledge you already have. Let's take a simple word that you, the listener, definitely know. The word is happy.
Happy. Yes, a very common word.
You know what happy means? Your brain has a strong, safe place for that concept. Now, if you want to improve your English, you don't just memorize random advanced words. You branch off from happy.
You connect them.
Yes. You learn words like joyful and cheerful.
Joyful and cheerful.
Because your brain already has a secure folder for happy, it simply drops joyful and cheerful right into that same folder.
Oh, I see. They belong to the same family.
Exactly. The energy required to remember them is incredibly low.
That makes perfect sense. It's like instead of trying to build a brand new town in the middle of nowhere, you're just adding a new street to a city that is already built.
A perfect way to look at it.
Now, to really make this work, there are 3 major vocabulary concepts we need to cover today. The building blocks of fluency. What is the first one?
The first crucial concept is Collocations.
Collocations. That is a big word. I know a lot of learners struggle with this because it feels so random.
It does feel random at
A
first.
collocation is essentially when words naturally want to hold hands, right?
That is a beautiful way to visualize it. Words holding hands. Collocations are words that naturally appear together in real speech.
They just fit together.
Right. Native speakers don't even think about them. They just intuitively know that certain words belong together.
Give us an example, nice and slow.
For example, in English, we say strong coffee.
Strong coffee. Yes.
We absolutely never say powerful coffee.
Which is fascinating because logically, strong and powerful mean the exact same thing.
They are synonyms, yes.
If I have a powerful car engine, I have a strong car engine. But if I ask a cafe for a powerful coffee, they are going to look at me like I am crazy.
They will be very confused. The logic breaks down. It becomes purely about habit. The word coffee has formed a permanent friendship with the word strong.
Let me repeat that for the listener. Strong coffee. Not powerful coffee. Strong coffee. Do you have another example?
Another great example is weather. We say heavy rain.
Heavy rain.
We don't say thick rain or strong rain, even though the physical idea is the same.
Yeah.
Recognizing and memorizing these collocations, these word partnerships, is what instantly makes your English sound natural.
Right. It takes you from sounding like a textbook to sounding like a real person.
Exactly.
So if collocations are about words holding hands, how do we handle words that mean the same thing, but, they feel completely different?
That is a trap I see advanced learners fall into all the time.
Because that can cause some embarrassing situations.
It really can. And that leads us directly to the second concept. Connotations.
Connotation.
A connotation is the emotional feeling that a word carries.
Yeah.
It is the hidden feeling beneath the dictionary definition.
The hidden feeling. Okay, let's explain that.
Let's look at the words cheap and inexpensive.
Cheap and inexpensive.
Right. If you look them up in a basic translation dictionary, they give the exact same result.
Yeah.
An item that does not cost a lot of money.
Right. From a math standpoint, they are identical. They both mean low cost.
But from a social and emotional standpoint, they are completely opposite.
Wow, opposite.
Yes. If you say, I bought this inexpensive watch, the connotation is highly positive.
Oh, so inexpensive is good.
Very good. It means you are smart with your money, you found a good deal, and the watch is still nice.
Okay, what about the other word?
But if you say, I bought this cheap watch, the connotation becomes very negative.
Negative.
Cheap means low quality, it means poor work, it means something that will break tomorrow.
That is a massive difference.
It really is.
Let me make an example for our listener. If I tell my friend, I like your inexpensive shoes, they might be happy. It is a compliment on their shopping skills.
Yes, exactly.
But if I say, I like your cheap shoes, I'm actively insulting them. I'm saying their shoes look bad.
You are telling them their shoes are trash.
And the dictionary says they mean the same thing. That is why we can't just trust single words.
Exactly. The core meaning is the same, but the emotional flavor is opposite.
So we have collocations, which are word partnerships, and we have connotations, which are emotional flavors. What is the third concept for organizing our mental dictionary?
The third concept is thematic clusters.
Thematic clusters.
This is where we completely stop using the A to Z dictionary method. A thematic cluster means grouping words together based on a single topic or situation.
It's like a map.
Yes, you are creating a focused mental map. Instead of learning a random word about animals, and then a word about cooking, and then a word about cars.
Which is how most vocabulary lists are built.
Right, which is awful. Instead, you put yourself in a single world of vocabulary.
I love this because it mirrors how we actually experience life.
Mm-hmm.
When I am at the airport, I only need airport words.
Exactly.
All the airport words are interacting with each other in that specific place. Let's make this super clear for the listener. Let's build a thematic cluster right now.
Let's do it.
Let's focus on advanced business words.
Great idea. We're going to build a mental map for the modern business world. I will teach you 4 crucial terms.
Okay, what is the first word?
The first word is autonomy.
Autonomy. Let me say that slowly for you listening. Autonomy. Autonomy. Break that down for us in a business context.
Autonomy basically means self-rule. But in a modern office, it means having the freedom and trust to make your own choices.
Having freedom at work.
Right. It's the opposite of having a boss who watches your every move.
Yeah.
If you have autonomy at your job, nobody is breathing down your neck. You are trusted to do the job your own way.
It's the dream of every worker, really. We all want autonomy.
We certainly do.
Okay, so we have our first word on the mental map, autonomy. What is the second word?
The second word in our cluster is venture.
Venture. Venture. How is this different from just saying business?
A venture is a specific type of business project. It means starting something completely new. And most importantly, it involves a big risk.
Risk is involved, okay.
You aren't just opening a normal cafe. A venture is creating a brand new technology or entering a brand new market.
So it's exciting.
Very exciting. If you say she is starting a new space exploration venture, it sounds brave and risky.
I see. The risk is built right into the word. Opening a normal store is a business. Going to space is a venture.
Perfect comparison.
Okay, moving along our business map. We have autonomy and venture. What is the third term?
The third term is scalability.
Scalability. Scalability. Scalability. That is a word you hear all the time in tech companies. What does it actually mean?
Scalability is the ultimate goal of modern business. It describes a company's ability to grow massively without losing quality and without costs going crazy.
Growing easily.
Right. Think about a piece of phone software, like an app. If 10 people download the app, it works perfectly.
Okay.
If 10 million people download that same app tonight, the servers don't crash, and the company doesn't have to hire a million new workers. That product has high scalability. It can grow effortlessly.
Oh, I get it. Whereas a traditional bakery does not have high scalability.
Not at all.
Because if a million people suddenly want a cake tomorrow, the bakery physically cannot do it. They would have to build massive new buildings and hire thousands of bakers.
Exactly. So software is highly scalable. A local bakery is not.
Scalability. Okay. We have autonomy, venture, and scalability. What completes our cluster?
The final piece of this map is innovation.
Innovation, innovation, innovation. It's a powerful word. What does it genuinely mean?
Innovation is the actual action of using a new idea.
Yeah.
It is not just thinking of something. It is doing something in a totally new way that changes the world.
Doing it in a new way.
Yes. The invention of the wheel was an innovation. Moving from gas cars to electric cars is an innovation. It means pushing the limits in your venture.
Okay, let's step back and look at our thematic cluster. We have autonomy, venture, scalability, and innovation.
And watch how they connect.
By learning these four words together, we've basically created a mini story in our heads about a modern tech company.
Yes, exactly.
Let's make a sentence. The boss uses their autonomy to launch a risky new venture, which relies on innovation to achieve global scalability.
Brilliant. You just linked all four words together in a single logical story. Your brain has now built a strong, connected web.
It's a strong web. But let me ask a tough question here. I am an impatient learner. A lot of us are.
Of course.
Is it not just faster for me to take a list of 100 business words and just force myself to memorize them in one afternoon? I feel like building these thematic clusters takes a lot of time.
This brings us right back to your opening story about the house.
The loose bricks.
Yes. Memorizing a list of 100 random words is like walking around carrying a huge pile of loose bricks in your arms.
Right.
Yes, technically you have 100 bricks. But the moment you feel stress, the moment you are nervous in a real conversation, you are going to drop those bricks.
My mind goes blank.
Exactly. The memory disappears fast because there is no cement holding the information together.
It's just too much to carry. You drop the bricks.
Precisely. But taking the time to learn words in context, finding collocations, and building thematic clusters, well, that is like taking the time to put thick, strong cement between every single brick.
The cement makes it permanent.
Yes, the building process is slower. Applying cement takes patience. But what you are building is a strong castle. That vocabulary becomes safe forever.
I love that. We want to be careful builders, not just people holding loose bricks. We need the cement.
You definitely need the cement.
But here's the practical question for our listener. Where do we find this cement?
Ah, great question.
Where do we see these words naturally interacting in the real world? Because you can't just find these organic clusters in a boring grammar textbook.
No, you cannot. You find them by consuming the English language in its natural state. You have to observe English in the real world.
And how do we do that?
The most powerful, easy way to do that is through reading, which is our next major phase of mastering fluency.
Reading. Now, this is interesting because today, with all the fast videos and social media, reading almost feels old-fashioned to some people.
It does feel old-fashioned to some.
They view it as a lazy hobby, something you do to fall asleep. But reading is actually a highly active tool for the brain, isn't it?
It is arguably the most powerful tool in your entire language learning toolkit.
Really?
The most powerful.
Without a doubt. Besides the amazing health benefits, like reducing your stress levels and making you more empathetic, reading is the ultimate subconscious grammar teacher.
Subconscious grammar. That sounds like a magic trick. How does that work?
Well, when you read a lot, you stop trying to mathematically calculate English sentences. You stop doing math in your head.
Exactly. You stop thinking, okay, I need a subject plus a verb plus the past tense. Instead, you just absorb the natural rhythm of the language.
You feel the rhythm.
Yes. You naturally learn the collocations we just talked about. The grammar goes straight into your deep brain. You start knowing what sounds right without needing to explain the rule.
That is exactly what a native speaker does.
Yes, it is.
A native speaker can't always explain the complex rules of grammar, but they know exactly when to use it because they have read it and heard it thousands of times.
They just feel it.
Before we get into exactly how to read, let's build a small thematic cluster right now around the idea of reading and learning. What are some essential phrases our listeners should know?
I have 5 fantastic phrases that are crucial for talking about learning. The first is dive into.
Dive into, dive into. It makes me think of standing at the edge of a swimming pool and jumping in.
That is the exact image. It means to enthusiastically begin an activity without waiting.
Just jumping right in.
Yes. If you have a fascinating new book, you don't just start it. You say, I cannot wait to dive into this book this weekend. It shows excitement.
I love that. The excitement is built right into the phrase. Dive into it. What is the second one?
The second phrase is dead wrong.
Dead wrong, dead wrong. Adding the word dead there makes it sound very serious.
It makes the word stronger. It doesn't just mean you made a tiny mistake. It means you are completely 100% incorrect.
Wow, 100% wrong.
For example, if you think you are too old to achieve absolute fluency in English, you are dead wrong. The science proves your brain can always learn.
I like that example. Let me repeat it. If you think you can't learn English, you are dead wrong. You can always learn. What is phrase number 3?
The third phrase is connect the dots.
Connect the dots. Connect the dots. Like the puzzles we did when we were children, drawing lines between dots to make a picture.
That is the exact metaphor. In learning, it means taking different pieces of information and finally understanding how they fit together to make the big picture.
Ah, I see.
When you read widely, you start to connect the dots. You read a book on history and a book on money, and suddenly you connect the dots on why a specific war happened.
You see the hidden connections.
Yeah.
Connect the dots. Okay, what is the fourth phrase in our cluster?
The fourth phrase is very famous. Think outside the box.
Think outside the box being the normal way of doing things.
Exactly. It means to look at a problem with extreme creativity. You completely ignore the standard, boring solutions.
You think differently.
Yes. Reading amazing books forces your brain to see new ideas, which trains you to think outside the box in your own life.
Think outside the box. Great phrase. And the final one.
The final phrase is get lost in.
Get lost in. Usually being lost is a scary experience. You don't want to be lost in a forest. But in this context, it's a wonderful thing.
It is the best feeling. When you get lost in a good book, the real world completely fades away.
You forget everything else.
You stop noticing the time passing, you forget your stress, and you are totally focused on the story. You could say there is nothing better than getting lost in a science fiction novel on a rainy day.
Getting lost in a book, it is a profound joy. Let me remind our listener, we really want you to get lost in learning with us. Keep listening to the Learn and Talk English podcast.
Yes, definitely keep listening.
Now, you mentioned earlier that reading actually changes our brain chemistry.
Mhm.
I want to talk about the neuroscience of reading because this is fascinating. What is actually happening inside our heads when we read English?
Neurologically speaking, reading is a highly complex workout. But here's the most important part for language learners. Reading acts as a save button for your memory.
A save button, like hitting save on a computer before turning it off.
Precisely. And this is especially powerful when you read right before you go to sleep.
Before sleep, why then?
Throughout the day, your brain is gathering temporary information. It is like a messy desk covered in loose papers.
Just a total mess.
Right. When you read a book in English right before bed, you are warming up that language network. Then, while you sleep, your brain takes all those loose papers, organizes them, and permanently files them away.
So sleep is doing the work.
Yes. Reading before sleep literally programs your brain to lock in the English overnight.
That is unbelievable. We're literally learning while we are asleep as long as we give the brain good reading material right before bed.
Exactly. But the reading has to be done correctly. We can't just passively look at the words.
Right.
I recommend something called active reading.
Active reading. Okay, please walk us through the exact steps. What do we do?
Active reading turns you into an engaged detective. It is a four-step framework.
4 steps. Got it.
Step one is to skim.
Skim. S-K-I-M. Skim. What does this mean in reading?
It means flying high above the text. You are not reading every single word.
Yeah.
You are just moving your eyes quickly over the page to understand the main idea.
Just the big picture.
Yes. You look at the title, the big words, and maybe the first sentence of a paragraph. You are just asking, what is this text generally about?
So you are looking at the shape of the house before you look at the bricks. Skimming gives you the big picture. What is step 2?
Step 2 is to scan.
Scan. S-C-A-N. Scan. How is scanning different from skimming?
If skimming is flying high in the sky, scanning is using a laser beam.
A laser beam.
You already know the main topic. Now, you are hunting for specific details. You are scanning the text for dates, names, or maybe new vocabulary word. Your eyes are jumping around looking for a target.
So I skimmed to know the article is about history, and then I scanned to find the exact year a war started.
You got it.
Okay. What is step 3?
Step 3 is physical. You must highlight new words.
Highlight. Like with a bright yellow marker.
Exactly. When you are reading and you find a word you don't know, do not just ignore it. Use a physical yellow highlighter or the tool on your phone to mark that word brightly.
You are telling your brain, hey, pay attention to this.
Yes, you are isolating it. And what is the final, crucial step of active reading?
I am excited for step 4. What is it?
The final step is the hard work. Summarize the text in your own words.
Summarize. Explain it simply.
Yes. When you finish a page, physically close the book, look away. And out loud, or in a notebook, try to explain what you just read using your own English words.
Wow, that proves you really understood it.
If you can explain complex paragraphs in a simple summary, it proves you truly comprehended the message.
If you can't explain it simply, you haven't really understood it. But I need to disagree here for a second because it sounds exhausting.
It can sound like a lot of work.
Right. If I am reading a really exciting thriller novel and I have to stop every 5 minutes to skim, scan, highlight, and write a summary, won't that completely destroy the fun?
That is a very valid worry.
Will I lose the joy of the story? Am I doing it wrong if I read incredibly slowly because I'm stopping to look at words?
This is a trap many ambitious learners fall into. Listen carefully. The goal is not to turn a fun book into a painful chore.
Okay, good.
You do not need to look up every single highlighted word immediately in a dictionary. First, just try to guess the meaning from the sentence.
Guess from the context.
Yes. Think of active reading not as a fast sprint, but as a long, slow, comfortable walk for your brain.
A slow walk.
Exactly. If you are going for a long walk in a beautiful forest, you don't run as fast as you can. You stroll.
You take your time.
You stop to look at a pretty flower. Reading should be the same. If you stop to look at a cool grammar rule or a new collocation, you aren't ruining the walk. You are enjoying the scenery.
Enjoying the scenery. That is a profound shift in perspective. We aren't racing to the end of the book. Let the language wash over you.
Let your brain absorb it at a comfortable pace.
That is beautiful. And to help guide you on this slow walk, please remember that here on the Learn and Talk English podcast, we are constantly providing high-quality educational material to light the path for you.
Yes, we are always here to help.
So, through reading, we are absorbing all this beautiful context. We are filling our minds with rich English. But at some point, the input has to become output.
You have to speak.
You have to actually open your mouth and talk. But before the words can come out smoothly, something inside your head has to change. You have to change how your brain operates.
This is the biggest obstacle.
This brings us to a massive bottleneck for fluency. Section 3, breaking the translation habit.
This is arguably the most critical moment in a language learner's journey. It is the moment you change from being a student to a true user of English.
Let's diagnose the illness first. The biggest obstacle to speaking naturally is translating in your head.
We all do it when we start.
Someone asks you a question in English, you hear the English words. Then you secretly translate those words into your native language in your head.
Right.
Then you think of your answer in your native language. And finally, you painfully translate that answer back into English before you speak.
It creates a massive traffic jam in your brain.
A huge traffic jam.
It makes your speech slow, hesitant, and full of errors.
Yeah.
Because you are trying to force your native language's grammar rules onto English, which never works.
It sounds robotic. So what is the cure? How do we stop translating?
The absolute cure is immersion.
Immersion. Immersion. Surrounding yourself so completely with English that your brain realizes translating is a waste of time.
Precisely.
Uh-huh.
You have to train your brain to link an object directly to the English word. When you see an apple, you just think apple, completely bypassing your native language.
And what is the best tool to do this?
The most effective, completely free psychological tool is a technique called narrating your day.
Narrating your day, narrating, playing the role of an announcer, but just for your normal life.
Exactly. You become the storyteller of your own existence.
Mm.
From the moment you wake up, you start describing your daily actions in English, either muttering out loud or thinking silently in your head.
You force your internal voice to switch to English. Let's give the listener a crystal clear example of how simple this can be. Imagine you are waking up on a Tuesday morning. The alarm goes off.
What do you say?
Instead of thinking in your native language, you immediately force the English thought. I am waking up. I am reaching for my phone. I am putting on my shoes. I am walking to the kitchen. I am opening the door.
It sounds incredibly basic, but it is powerful.
Doing this every day must physically rewire the brain, right?
It absolutely does. You are taking the most common actions of your life and cementing them to English vocabulary. To help with this, let's learn a small cluster of words related to this mental training.
Okay, let's learn some psychology words.
The first word is overcome.
Overcome. Overcome. It sounds like climbing over a huge wall.
That is the exact image. To overcome means to successfully defeat a big problem or fear. You don't just fix it, you triumph over it.
You beat it.
Yes, through daily practice, you will overcome your fear of conversation.
You defeat the fear. Overcome. I love that. What is the next word?
The next word is express.
Express. Express. Like a fast express train.
They are related, but here, to express means to accurately share your true thoughts and feelings with the world.
Sharing your true self.
The tragedy of translating in your head is that it stops you from expressing your true personality. You sound like a boring robot.
Oh, that is so true.
Thinking in English allows you to finally express your true humor.
We want to express our real selves. What is the third word?
The third word is confidence.
Confidence. Confidence. The bedrock of speaking.
Confidence is the deep belief in your own abilities. It means you are not doubting yourself. When you narrate your day in English and you realize you can do it, your confidence naturally grows.
Yes, her confidence skyrocketed when she stopped translating in her head.
Exactly.
Confidence is contagious too. People listen more to confident speakers. What is word number 4?
We touched on it already, but it's vital. Narrate.
Narrate. Narrate. To be the storyteller.
You provide a spoken commentary on events as they happen. I highly advise you to narrate your drive to work every single morning.
And the final word in this cluster.
The final and perhaps most important word for any language learner. Patient.
Patient. Patient. The ability to endure the struggle without going crazy.
Exactly. Being patient means staying calm when things are difficult or slow. Changing your brain's default language is a huge biological task. It will not happen in 2 days.
It takes time.
You must be fiercely patient with yourself when you catch your brain slipping back into your native language.
You have to offer yourself some grace. Be patient. Every time you successfully narrate a morning, consider it a massive achievement.
Celebrate it.
But let me present a very real problem here. I am fully committed. I am in my kitchen narrating my day. I am walking to the counter. I am picking up the... And suddenly, I am holding a strange tool for peeling potatoes.
Oh no, a missing word.
Right. I have absolutely no idea what the English word is. In that moment of failure, my brain instantly panics and violently switches back to my native language to identify the potato peeler.
Yes, the panic sets in.
How do you stop that panic?
That moment of panic is universal. It is your brain hitting a broken bush and instinctively turning around. But you must train the brain to build a detour, not run away.
Build a detour. How?
Think about how a human baby learns to talk.
A baby. Okay, they don't know any words.
Exactly. A 3-year-old child does not possess an entire dictionary,
Right.
yet they communicate all day long.
That's true. They always get what they want.
If a toddler wants a glass of milk, but they forget the word milk, they don't switch to a different language.
What do they do?
They point, they use simple adjectives, they use verbs, they say, I want the cold white drink. Or if they see a helicopter and don't know the word, they say, look at the loud flying car.
Oh. They talk around the missing word using the simple words they do know.
Precisely. If you are holding the potato peeler and the word peeler is missing, do not revert to your native language. Force the detour.
How do I say it?
Say out loud, I am holding the sharp metal tool that takes the skin off vegetables.
The sharp metal tool that takes the skin off? Wow, I am still entirely in English.
Yes, you maintained the immersion. You survived the broken bridge. Do not demand absolute perfection from yourself. Focus entirely on the message.
Focus on the message, build the detour, and keep the English engine running. That is incredibly empowering.
It changes everything.
So we have the internal monologue working. We are narrating our days, we're thinking in English, but fluency is undeniably a physical skill too.
Very physical.
It involves training the muscles of the jaw, the tongue, the vocal cords. If you are sitting alone in your bedroom, how do you train the physical muscles of speech without feeling crazy?
This brings us to section 4, the secret to fluency shadowing and solo practice.
Solo practice. Speaking alone.
This is the great equalizer of 2026. For decades, the most common excuse was, I live in a rural area, I have no native speakers around me, I cannot afford a tutor, therefore I cannot practice speaking.
It was a huge barrier, but that barrier is gone now, right?
Completely gone. In 2026, you do not need a human partner to achieve advanced physical fluency. You can practice completely alone. And the absolute best technique for this is called shadowing.
Shadowing. Shadowing, like a physical shadow following a person down the street. How does this apply to speaking?
Shadowing involves taking a piece of real audio from a native English speaker, like a podcast clip or a movie scene, listening to it through headphones, and repeating the words out loud almost at the exact same time.
The exact same time.
Just a fraction of a second behind them, you're trying to talk over their voice with your own.
So I am not just listening, pausing the tape, and repeating it from memory. I am literally speaking while they are speaking.
Exactly. You are chasing their voice. And the critical detail here is that you are not just trying to hit the right words. You are copying the complete melody of their voice.
The melody, you mean the intonation?
Yes, intonation, the rise and fall of the pitch. English has a very specific musical rhythm. When a native speaker asks a question, their voice goes up in a specific way. Shadowing forces your throat to sing the exact same song.
And it forces you to master something else too, connected speech.
Yes, connected speech is crucial.
This is what makes native speakers sound so impossibly fast and blurry to beginners.
Because native speakers do not pronounce every single word perfectly separated.
Yeah.
We smash words together.
Give us an example to break down.
If you look at the written sentence, what do you want to do? A beginner will physically pronounce 6 slow, separate words. What do you want to do?
Which sounds totally robotic.
Because it is unnatural. A native speaker speaking normally will blend that entire phrase into a single smooth sound. They'll say, what you want to do.
Oh, let's repeat that slowly for our listener because it is so important for listening comprehension. What do you becomes whatcha. Want to becomes wanna. What you wanna do.
Perfect. What you want to do. When you are shadowing a native speaker, you aren't looking at a piece of paper. You are relying entirely on your ears.
You just copy the sound.
Your ears hear what you want to do, and your mouth is forced to copy that exact shape. You are training the muscles of your mouth to execute connected speech automatically.
It's purely athletic training for the mouth. Now, how can learners practice this alone using modern tools in 2026? We don't want to name specific brands, but what types of tools exist?
The options are incredible. First, there are language exchange websites. You connect via voice with someone across the globe. You help them with your language. They help you with English.
A free exchange of value. What if I don't want to talk to a human?
This is where artificial intelligence is amazing. You can now use AI chat programs. You have a spoken conversation with a highly advanced robot.
And the best part is, the robot doesn't judge you.
Exactly. It has zero judgment. You can mispronounce a word 5 times and the robot does not care. There is no embarrassment.
No embarrassment. That is huge.
There are also voice feedback tools that analyze your pronunciation and give you coaching, just like a teacher living in your phone.
But honestly, my absolute favorite tool is the simplest one. It's already on every single phone. The basic audio recorder.
It is shockingly effective.
Just hitting record, talking for 3 minutes, and then listening to your own voice. You will instantly hear your own mistakes. It is painful, but it works so fast.
It is brutal, but necessary.
But let me push back on this entire concept of solo practice. I understand how shadowing works, but practically speaking, I am sitting alone in my bedroom, loudly copying a podcast to an empty room.
It feels weird.
I feel completely silly. I feel like my family is going to think I am crazy. Will people think I have lost my mind?
That feeling of being silly is a massive psychological barrier.
Hmm.
It feels unnatural to speak to the air, but we need to look at it differently.
Give me a new way to look at it.
Think about what you do when you're driving alone in your car and your absolute favorite high-energy song comes on the radio.
Oh, I turn the volume all the way up and I sing as loud as I can.
Exactly. And when you were singing along in the car, do you feel crazy? Do you worry about looking silly?
Not at all. I just feel happy. I'm getting into the music.
That is precisely what shadowing is. Shadowing is simply singing along to your favorite English song. You are not talking to a wall. You are practicing your vocal instrument.
Singing along to the English language?
Yes, you are trying to hit the same notes and rhythm as the original speaker. If you view it as musical practice, the embarrassment completely vanishes.
Wow, that completely shifts the paradigm. It makes it fun. And speaking of fun, I want to gently remind our listener that if you are enjoying these tips, to please keep following the Learn and Talk English podcast.
We love providing these high-quality educational lessons for you.
So we have the vocabulary, the reading input, the internal monologue, and the physical training of shadowing. This combination will make you highly proficient.
Very proficient.
But there's one final leap. To go from good to indistinguishable from a native speaker, the elite C1 and C2 levels.
This requires mastering the cultural texture. Section 5. Reaching the peak advanced nuances and cultural fluency.
Real-life conversation is incredibly messy, isn't it? It is not the clean dialogue you find in a beginner's textbook.
Real humans use sarcasm, they exaggerate, and they bend the rules of grammar for emotional effect.
Bending the rules of grammar, that is a scary thought for someone who spent years trying to memorize the rules perfectly.
You must stop viewing advanced grammar as strict laws designed to punish you. At the elite level, grammatical structures are simply tools for precision. They let you paint a better picture.
Give us an example of an elite grammar tool.
Let's look at mixed conditionals.
Mixed conditionals. Even the name sounds scary. Let me break it down simply.
A mixed conditional allows you to bend time. It lets you construct a sentence that bridges two different timelines. Usually we use it to express how a choice you made in the past is changing your life right now in the present.
So it's the language of regret or looking back. Give me a sentence.
If I had taken that job in London, I would be living in the UK right now.
Oh, let's break that down slowly. If I had taken that job, that is firmly in the past. It's a past action that didn't happen.
Correct.
But then the consequence, I would be living in the UK right now, is anchored in the present moment. So we have literally mixed the past and present together.
Precisely. Without that tool, you would have to use 5 clumsy sentences to explain that timeline. The mixed conditional does it elegantly in one breath.
That is powerful. What is another high-level tool?
Let's look at inversion.
Inversion. Inversion. To invert something means to flip it upside down.
Yeah.
How do we flip a sentence?
Inversion involves taking the normal order of an English sentence and flipping it, usually by placing a negative word at the very beginning. We do this for pure dramatic effect.
To sound dramatic. Give us an example to feel it.
A standard normal sentence would be, I have never seen such a terrible failure. It is correct, but a bit flat.
Okay, let's flip it.
If we apply inversion, we pull the negative word never to the front. It becomes, never have I seen such a terrible failure.
Never have I seen. Wow. You instantly sound like an angry politician giving a speech. It elevates the emotion of the room.
It forces people to listen to you. These are the tools of precision. But grammar is only half the battle.
What is the other half?
The other half is mastering the unspoken social rules. Let's look at some advanced conversational phrases that make social life easier. I will give you the phrase, and you break down the psychology.
I love this. Let's do it.
Phrase 1. That's a gray area.
That's a gray area. Gray area. This phrase implies that a situation is not black and white. It is not completely right, and it is not completely wrong. It is in the middle.
Yes.
It is a very polite way of saying this issue is too complicated for a simple yes or no answer.
It shows high maturity. Let's look at phrase number 2. I see where you're coming from.
I see where you're coming from. This is the ultimate tool for stopping an argument.
It really is.
When you are in a fight and you completely disagree with the person, telling them you are wrong just makes them angry. But if you say, I see where you're coming from, you are validating their feelings.
Yes, you are saying, I understand why you think that.
Right. I understand your logic, even if my logic is different. It shows respect while allowing for disagreement.
It is verbal magic. And that transitions perfectly into phrase 3. Let's agree to disagree.
Let's agree to disagree. This is the emergency exit for an argument that will never end. When two people are never going to change their minds, you use this phrase.
To save the relationship.
Exactly. It means we will never agree on this topic, so let's stop fighting and just be friends.
It is a highly civilized way to surrender. Now, beyond conversation maneuvers, we have to talk about cultural idioms.
Idioms, the strange phrases that make no literal sense.
Right. They make absolutely no sense if you translate them word for word, but they carry massive meaning. For instance, bite the bullet.
Bite the bullet. Let's explain the history of this. Before modern medicine, soldiers on the battlefield who needed surgery would literally be given a metal bullet to bite down on to endure the terrible pain.
Ouch. Yes. And today, we use it metaphorically. It means forcing yourself to do a highly unpleasant, painful task that is absolutely necessary.
For example, I've been avoiding doing my taxes for months, but they are due tomorrow. I just have to bite the bullet and do the paperwork.
You just have to endure the pain. Let's do another one.
Yeah.
The ball is in your court.
The ball is in your court.
Right.
This is a sports metaphor drawn from tennis. When the tennis ball is on your side of the net in your court, you're the only person who can hit it back.
You have the control.
Right. In business, saying the ball is in your court means I've made my offer and now it is entirely your turn to make a decision.
I submitted the contract. Now the ball is in their court to sign it. It shifts the responsibility.
And finally, to be truly fluent in 2026, you must understand modern internet culture. Let's look at some modern slang about relationships. First up, situationship.
Situationship. This is a blending of the words situation and relationship. It describes a very modern dynamic, a romantic connection between two people that is entirely undefined.
You are acting like a couple, but there is no official title.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It is confusing, it is ambiguous, it is merely a situation, hence a situationship.
It perfectly captures modern dating anxiety. What about the term ghosting?
Ghosting. This is a verb that describes a deeply painful behavior. It takes the idea of a ghost, something that suddenly vanishes into thin air, and applies it to texting.
Someone vanishes.
Ghosting is when someone you are dating, or even a friend, abruptly cuts off all contact. They don't respond to texts. They offer no explanation. They simply vanish like a ghost.
I went on 3 great dates with him, and then he completely ghosted me. It's so rude. And the last internet word, catfishing.
Catfishing. This describes a severe digital lie.
Mm-hmm.
It is when a person creates an entirely fake online identity-stealing photos of a more attractive person, specifically to trick someone into an online romance.
The liar is the catfish. It's dark but essential vocabulary today.
Yes, it is everywhere on the internet.
But let me step back and challenge this entire section. We're talking about mixed conditionals, historical idioms, and internet slang. If a learner aggressively uses all of these complex structures every single day, aren't they in danger of sounding totally unnatural?
That is a very valid concern.
Won't they sound like a walking textbook trying too hard to impress people?
The risk of trying too hard is real. However, when used correctly, these advanced phrases achieve the exact opposite effect. They make you sound deeply human.
Really? How so?
I want you to think about cooking a massive, complex meal.
Okay, I am visualizing a kitchen.
The basic grammar, your basic tenses, your core vocabulary, that is the meat and potatoes of the dish. It provides the calories, it keeps you alive.
It gets the fundamental job done.
But if you serve someone plain boiled meat and plain potatoes with absolutely nothing else, it is a deeply boring meal.
It's functional, but there is no joy.
Exactly. The idioms, the connected speech, the dramatic inversion, these are your spices.
Oh, spices.
These are the garlic, the sea salt, the fresh basil. You do not dump the entire jar of spices onto the plate all at once. That would ruin it.
You sprinkle them in gently?
Yes. You sprinkle them in intuitively to elevate the dish. The spices are what give your English authentic flavor and emotion. Adding the spices proves that you are a real human being sharing a culture.
Add the spices to elevate the dish. What a brilliant framework. So we possess all the ingredients now. We have the foundational bricks of vocabulary, the rich reading, the physical shadowing, and the spices of advanced nuance.
We have everything we need.
But having the ingredients on the counter does not bake the cake. To actually achieve elite fluency in 2026, the learner needs an unbreakable system. We have arrived at the ultimate step. Section 6, the master plan your daily English routine.
This is where theory meets brutal reality. Because let me be entirely clear. The main reason people fail to reach advanced fluency is almost never a lack of intelligence.
It's not about being smart.
If you were smart enough to understand this podcast, you were smart enough to master English. The silent killer of fluency is a lack of consistency.
Consistency. It's not about studying for 10 hours one day, it's about studying a little bit every day. But the problem is, modern life is exhausting.
Very exhausting.
People finish a long workday, they cook dinner, and by 8 or 0 p.m., their brains are completely drained due to something called decision fatigue.
Yes, decision fatigue is a very real, scientifically proven draining of our willpower. Every single choice you make during the day, what to wear, what to eat, how to answer an email, drains a limited tank of brain energy.
By evening, the tank is empty.
Exactly. You lack the willpower to make the difficult choice to study English. So you take the easy path. You collapse on the couch and scroll mindlessly on your phone.
So how do we outsmart our own tired biology? How do we beat decision fatigue?
By entirely removing the need to make a decision. You do not rely on willpower. You rely on a pre-planned routine. When 8:00 p.m. strikes, you do not ask yourself, should I study English today? The routine dictates that the studying simply happens.
And to build this routine, we use 3 psychological tricks. The first is the Pomodoro technique,
Yes, the Pomodoro technique.
named after a tomato-shaped kitchen timer. How does it protect our energy?
It works by enforcing rhythmic, highly concentrated bursts of work, followed by mandatory rest. The classic cycle is 25 minutes of intense focus, followed immediately by a 5-minute complete break.
25 minutes on, 5 minutes off.
This prevents burnout. Your brain can sprint incredibly fast, provided it knows a rest period is guaranteed in exactly 25 minutes.
It makes the mountain look like a series of small hills. You weren't studying for hours, you were just doing one 25-minute block. What is the second psychological trick?
The second is the 10-minute rule. This is designed entirely to overcome the friction of starting.
Starting is always the hardest part.
Exactly. When you are exhausted, the thought of a 1-hour study session is terrifying. The 10-minute rule is a trick you play on yourself. You make a deal with your brain. I will sit down and study for exactly 10 minutes. If, after 10 minutes, I am still utterly miserable, I have full permission to quit.
I can quit with no guilt. But the magic is, once you actually start and you are 5 minutes into an interesting article, the momentum takes over.
You almost never quit at the 10-minute mark. You tricked your brain into starting.
I love that. Momentum is easier to keep than to create. And the final, most crucial lever for long-term memory is spaced repetition.
Spaced repetition. This is how we defeat the forgetting curve.
Exactly. Science proves that our memory of new information decays at a predictable rate. If you learn a new word today, you will forget 80% of it by next week, unless you review it.
Spaced repetition means reviewing your words at the exact perfect moment before you forget them. You review a word 1 day later, then 3 days later, then a week later.
By interrupting the forgetting curve, the cement permanently hardens in your brain.
It is scientifically optimized memorization.
Okay, let's put this all together into a concrete schedule. Let's lay out the ultimate, optimized 75-minute daily English routine for our listener.
Here is your blueprint for success. Block 1. 15 minutes of active reading out loud. You find an article, you read it, and you physically speak the words out loud.
Warming up the brain and the mouth at the same time.
Block 2. 10 minutes of vocabulary review. This is where you use your spaced repetition. You review your thematic clusters and connotations.
Quick surgical memory maintenance.
Block 3. 20 minutes of intense shadowing. You put on your headphones, pull up a video, and you become the speaker's vocal shadow. You mimic the connected speech and rhythm.
Singing along to the music of English.
Block 4. 15 minutes of journaling. You open a physical notebook and you express your thoughts or summarize your day entirely in English. This forces you to generate grammar.
A quiet moment of output and reflection.
And the final block. 15 minutes of dynamic speaking practice. You talk to a language exchange partner, debate with an AI robot, or just record yourself talking into your phone.
Let's review that slow. 15 minutes reading, 10 minutes vocabulary, 20 minutes shadowing, 15 minutes writing, and 15 minutes speaking practice. A perfectly balanced 75-minute diet for the brain.
But to execute this, the environment must be perfect.
Environmental design is just as important as willpower. You must construct a sacred study zone in your home, even if it is just one specific chair.
And the golden rule of environmental design in 2026, you must absolutely, unequivocally hide your smartphone.
The smartphone is a weapon of mass distraction.
It truly is. It is engineered to steal your attention. If your phone is visible on your desk, your brain is burning energy just trying not to touch it.
Put the phone in another room. Lock it in a drawer. Protect your focus.
Protect the bandwidth.
Now I have to ask the most deeply human question of this entire conversation. Let's be brutally honest. Life is chaotic.
Yes, it is.
A listener might have a sick child, a massive crisis at work, or they might just be fighting off a terrible flu. The 75-minute routine is beautiful, but on a random Thursday, they simply collapse into bed with zero energy. They miss a day.
It happens to all of us.
The chain is broken. Does this mean the system has failed? Should they just surrender to the guilt and give up?
Absolutely not. And preparing for this exact failure is the hallmark of a strong system. Perfectionism is the enemy of consistency. To combat this guilt, I want every listener to use the 2-day rule.
The 2-day rule, how does this protect us?
The 2-day rule says that you are entirely permitted to miss one single day of your study routine.
I am allowed to miss a day.
Yes, you are allowed to be exhausted. You grant yourself complete forgiveness for missing that Tuesday. However, the unbreakable law of the system is that you must never, under any circumstances, miss 2 days in a row.
Oh. So missing Tuesday is a minor stumble, but missing Wednesday is the beginning of a bad habit.
Exactly. Let me offer a final analogy to cement this concept.
Mm.
Imagine you are on a strict, healthy diet to lose weight. You are eating grilled chicken and broccoli for weeks. You're making incredible progress.
Feeling great.
But then you go to a friend's birthday party on a Saturday night, and you eat a massive, delicious slice of chocolate cake.
Which sounds amazing.
It is amazing. Now, biologically speaking, does eating that one single slice of cake instantly destroy your health? Do you immediately gain back all the weight you lost?
No, of course not. The body absorbs it and returns to normal.
Precisely. The single piece of cake does not erase the weeks of healthy eating. Missing one single day of your English routine is exactly like eating that slice of cake. It has basically zero impact on your long-term fluency.
So what destroys the diet?
What destroys the diet is eating the cake, feeling immense guilt, deciding you were a complete failure, and then eating cake for the next 3 weeks.
The downward spiral of guilt.
Yes. The 2-day rule stops the spiral. You eat the cake on Tuesday, you forgive yourself instantly, and on Wednesday, you are right back to eating your linguistic broccoli. You resume the routine.
It removes the guilt and guarantees long-term survival. What an incredibly empowering framework. Missing a day does not ruin your fluency. It just means you are human. Just get back on track tomorrow.
Just try again tomorrow.
Wow. We have covered an absolutely monumental amount of cognitive and linguistic ground today. This has been a masterclass.
It really has been wonderful.
Let us do a rapid review to lock these concepts permanently into the listener's brain. We began by abandoning the loose bricks of memorization, and instead, we used the cement of collocations and thematic clusters.
We then explored active reading, learning how skimming, scanning, highlighting, and summarizing act as a comfortable workout, while reading before sleep hits the memory save button.
We conquered the translation bottleneck by narrating our days, using detours to talk around missing words like a toddler pointing at a helicopter.
We unlocked the physical muscles of speech through shadowing, treating it as singing along to the music of the language.
We elevated our speech to the elite level by adding the spices of advanced grammar-like mixed conditionals and inversion, and navigating modern slang like situationship and ghosting.
And finally, we built a psychological fortress with the Pomodoro technique, spaced repetition, and the immense grace of the 2-day rule.
It is a complete blueprint for fluency in 2026. And I want to remind everyone listening right now, please remember that rewiring your brain to speak a new language is one of the most magnificent, complex things a human being can do.
Be proud of yourself.
It is not a race. It is a lifelong, beautiful adventure. Enjoy the slow walk through the woods.
It truly is. And as we finish today, I want to leave you with one final thought to ponder as you go about your day. I want you to remember this quote. Fluency isn't about speaking faster. It's about speaking better. It is about quality over quantity.
Fluency isn't about speaking faster. It's about speaking better. Quality over quantity. That is the perfect summary. Thank you so much for joining us on this incredible journey today.
Thank you for having me.
If this session brought you value, please subscribe and like. We would love for you to leave comments below telling us exactly which of these new routines you're going to use first.
Yes, tell us in the comments.
Keep listening to the Learn and Talk English podcast. Thank you for tuning in, protect your focus, and keep building your beautiful English.